probably eating lunch right now, so I'd just stop doing that and just tune in to Harry and Amber on Radio ECU.
Yeah, we are back. It is 23 minutes to 1 here on Radio ECU. We just heard from Alt J with Breeze Blocks.
Did you enjoy it?
I did enjoy it.
Told you.
I love that album.
It's a good
How
song.
could you not love that
I
album?
know. Good song.
So I want to talk to you about virtual reality. It's been a lot of stuff has happened in the last 10 years with Oculus Rift, and like VR headsets have stopped being this big clunky thing that you wear in your head and takes up a huge amount of power and is actually kind of a useful and easily consumable item nowadays. Yeah, it's fascinating. I think we're going to see a real big, just a technological revolution in the way we do things with VR.
It's really exciting, isn't it? To be honest, I'm not exactly educated on the whole topic, but it really excites me to hear about how the industry is evolving and, you know, what, like a bit of a taste of what our future might look like. And to help us give a little bit of an insight into that, we're now joined by Shara Evans, who is a futurist. Thank you very much for joining us today, Shara.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Amber, and hello, Harry.
Hello, Shara. Good to talk to you.
Same here.
So, I guess, where do you think we are going with VR?
Look, we're still just at the early stages of mass adoption, but I have to say the headsets still are fairly clunky and fairly heavy. If I put one on, it covers almost my entire face, and it's not something I'd want to wear for more than a few minutes at a time. That's going to change over the coming years, and certainly the resolution is a whole lot better than it used to be.
Wow, that's really exciting. I guess it's with any technology, with your computers, your phones, all things like that. I guess they all started as really clunky technology, and now, everything's wireless, everything's so accessible and easy to use. So I wonder if these headsets are going to kind of go down the same path.
Oh, you betcha they will, Amber. In fact, if I go out to 7 to 10 years, I can see where we're not even going to have headsets. We're going to have smart contacts. And we'll be able to go into a virtual reality simulation with that, or augmented reality.
Hopefully.
So it's going to get a lot less clunky than it is.
Oh my gosh.
I read a science fiction book a little while ago that had actually like contact lenses as kind of your phones, and that was incredible to me.
Mind blowing, yeah.
I wonder if we'll see. Well, if you say 7 to 10 years, I might hold you to that. I'm wondering if that'll be like the eye. They're going to call it like the Apple's new product.
It could be. Well, there's actually a lot of work happening in the smart contact area, and Google even has a patent out on a prototype smart lens that combines some biotech with IT technology. And with this smart contact, if you blink twice fast, you can take a picture. Now, can you imagine having the ability to just blink or say something, like below audible level, and start filming? And not only that, but have the smart contact start to self-adjust your vision. So if you need reading glasses or any other kind of glasses, depending on what you're looking at, the contact will also adjust that for you and do a lot more.
But how do you take a selfie?
That might be hard. I think with that one, you'll want to have a little tiny drone that goes flying out and takes a picture of you from afar. Yeah, but there already are little drones that are designed to do selfies.
Yeah, speaking of drones, that's why we were kind of having a chat before the show. Amazon and a few other companies, even Australia Post, I remember reading, are using drones as like a delivery service system, which is, it's not exactly virtual reality, but I guess it shows how technology is evolving.
And speaking of virtual reality that they're using in in online shopping, I've heard that eBay and also Amazon are teaming up to have like an online store where you can wear a VR headset and kind of physically manipulate items in a virtual space.
Well, there's so much happening both in the space of drones and in retail. I don't know about the tie-up between eBay and Amazon. I'm not across that one. But just a few days ago, eBay and Meyer have announced a VR department store. And you can access that by downloading an app, and you would either use a specialized VR headset, or you can get a cardboard-based headset that you stick your phone into, and that gives you a cheaper way of getting into virtual reality without buying, say, a $900 headset. But let me talk about drones in VR for a moment, because one of the things that's happening is that drones are being equipped with cameras. And a really interesting application that I've seen is where, let's say you're buying a property, but it's not built yet, and it's an apartment building, and you want to have a look around the space and the view from the space before you buy and before the building is even built. I know developers that are filming with drones at the exact height and location of where a particular apartment would be, and allowing you to do a virtual walkthrough of your prospective new home before it's even built.
God, that's
with the
crazy.
Right view.
That's amazing. So we're talking a lot about all the amazing things this kind of technology will be able to bring us. But do you think there's any dangers with virtual reality?
Well, I suppose one of the dangers is that, people might retreat into their own little virtual worlds and not interact with people the way they do. Somehow I don't think that's quite going to happen. But, of course, there are a lot of science fiction movies where that is the case. And not only are you in a virtual world, but you might have a robot surrogate, like an avatar, from the movie.
Oh, my God.
And maybe it's not an alien-looking thing, but it's a human-looking thing. And you're in this virtual world, but you're controlling a robot moving through the real space. And, in fact, there was a science fiction movie a number of years ago with Bruce Willis called Surrogates, where society had retreated into this virtual zone where people had better-looking versions of themselves as robots that moved about the world, whereas they were just sitting in their apartments and, sort of all slack and grubby. And eventually that all ended, but it was a pretty cool concept.
I did see it. I thought it was quite a terribly acted film, but the concept was really cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I like the concept.
Yeah, the concept was really, really cool. Just like, Bruce Willis, why?
How exciting.
Does the world really need another Bruce Willis film? We're speaking to Shara Evans, futurist and CEO of Market Clarity, the telecommunications analyst firm. Would you buy a VR headset?
Well, I already have a Google Cardboard headset, and at this stage, I don't really have enough personal applications for me to buy a more expensive headset like an Oculus Rift or an HTC Vive, but I'm pretty much tied into the AR and VR community, so I get to demo a lot of different things.
Half your luck. Shara, thanks so much for joining us on Radio ECU today. It was a pleasure.
Great fun. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Shara.
So we were just talking to Shara Evans, talking about all things VR. We had a chat, went around campus and had a talk to a few people about what they would buy, what they would like to see on VR, and they came up with a few interesting answers.
Facing my biggest fears, I have the biggest fears of tentacles. So can you imagine just having a giant squid just appearing in front of you in virtual reality to face your fears? That'd be pretty sick.
What would you like to see turn into virtual reality?
Any kind of video games. I think I'd spend the rest of my life playing virtual reality video games if they all came out on that format.
I want to walk on the moon and I want to go to Mars. I want to walk on the sun. I want to die.
If something could be turned into virtual reality, I would love it to be David Attenborough documentaries. I'd love to just cuddle David Attenborough because I love David Attenborough and I think being there would be awesome.
What would you like to see turn into virtual reality?
Narnia.
Porn.